So you draw and say this is, so we sit with a lot of families and we find this is their financial plan, okay? This circle represents their financial plan. And listen, it doesn't matter if they make $1,000 a month or they make $10,000. By the way, it's all the same. They just look a little bit different doing it, right? So this guy's got a little nicer car than this guy, but at the end of the month, there's no money left, right? So what we find is that when we sit and look at people's money, they make their dollar and half of it goes out to living expenses. You know, it's just expensive to live. You know, it doesn't matter where you live, it's just expensive. You know, $500,000 house, whatever it is. Your money is just going out to living expenses. We got internet, we have $200 cell phones, we got all this stuff that we spend money on, right? Then before you even get your money, there's a quarter of it that you don't ever see, right? So some's gone before you get it. What's that? Yeah, it's called taxes, right? So a quarter of your money, pretty much, even in the great state of Texas, right, where we don't have to pay state income tax. Other states is more. About 25% of your money goes back to the government, right? So then America, because it's taken so much of your money, we came up this way where you could buy things that you don't actually have the money to buy. Right? You don't have the money for it, but you can still buy it. So a lot of people have debt, right? So the other quarter for most families is paying off debt, right? So this is what we see. Now, some people, their job offers a 401k, and they get a little bit of a match or something like that. So we see that they'll eke out a little bit of savings, right? Savings. Eke out a little bit of savings and stick it in the 401k. This is most families' financial plans. Would you agree? So yeah, that's probably what most people do. Now, based on what you know, does this look like a plan to get financially free? You're going to say, not at all, right? You're going to say, we agree. Now, what traditional financial planning does is it comes in and tells you you got to stop buying lattes. You know, you got to start doing all this stuff that, you know, stop living that way, right? But it's not practical. Nobody does it, right? That's why nothing ever changes. So our approach is very different. What we do is we work with partners. We do a complementary financial needs analysis, right? And it's an analysis. We go through it. We look how they're spending their money. We'll find out if I can, without changing your lifestyle, if I can reduce your expenses and free up some cash, right? How do we do it? Maybe home and auto. I don't do that, but I have partners that do, right? One's up there, right? Maybe electricity. In the state of Texas, we have deregulated electricity. Maybe health insurance. There's a lot of stuff. I can't say exactly what it is, but there's a lot of ways we can reduce expenses. So we come in here, go through this. We can usually save a family $150 to $250, somewhere in here, a month on expenses, right? If we just come in and dig into them a little bit. And then on taxes, and then I asked them, did you get a tax return last year? Right? Did you get a tax return last year? Almost everybody says yes. Right? I say yeah. I think you guys said maybe no on your last one, right?
Yes.
2 years ago we did it, last year we did. So, but most people say yes. So that's okay. So yeah, the average family gets a $1,900 tax return. That's average across America. So what we do is we teach them what a tax return actually is, and it's you lending the government money. It's 0% interest, right? They hang on to your money, yeah, and then they give it back to you, right? So if you could hang on to that money instead, right? We don't want you owing taxes at the end of the year, but if you could hang on to that money instead, you know, and we change your withholdings, and let's say we free up, I don't know, 120 to 150, somewhere in there, based on your individual situation, a month. Instead of giving it to the government at 0%, why don't we put it in an account that actually grow interest for you? And then at the end, if you owe, you have a little bit more money to pay, right? And then we make a plan for the debt. Right? So everybody's situation here is a little bit different. There's different things we can do. There's some consolidation if people have a lot of debt. But we can roll it over to lower interest. Sometimes if people work with a partner, maybe refinance their house if that's the right move. We don't know what the right move is till we look, but we can help out with debt. So here we try to free up some money as well and get that taken care of. But let's say through this, 150, you got 270 to 400, right? Somewhere in here, this is the number you're dealing with. So if I can free up $270 to $400 for a family, and then go back and I can invest that for them into their savings, do you think that could change your life? And the person's gonna say, yeah, it'd be pretty good. If you could invest $400 a month, would you be pretty happy about that? So I personalize it a little bit. I said, yeah, I'd be happy about that. And I'd say, if I can do this, so if we can do this process for families, how many people that you know do you think should sit down with us? And then they're gonna say something like, everybody, most families I know, everyone. So they're gonna say something like that, right? And then after they say that, I just say, if we could do this for families, if we do this for your family, would it be worth on another day spending time to look at this for you? Would that be helpful for you? And he's either gonna say yes or no. And if it's a yes, I just keep going. And then at the end, but he just gave me permission to set an appointment at the end of the meeting.